Hello, my Manduka family. My name is Crystal, and welcome to the Black Yoga Room, where the mind, the body, and the breath are illuminated. Today, we're going to do a Ashtanga Express practice, only focusing on Surya Namaskar A, Surya Namaskar B, and the standing sequence. If you're ready, let's go ahead and come to the top of the mat in the pose Samastitihi. And let's bring the hands to heart center. Maybe lower the gaze, close the eyes. Let's take a few cleansing breaths. Deep inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Another deep inhale through the nose, out through the mouth. Let's open the class with the Om in the opening mantra. Take another deep inhale through the nose. Exhale for Om. Om. Vande Guranam Charanara Vinde Sandar Shita Swatma Sukhavabodhe Nishreyase Jangale Kayamane Samsara Hala Hala Moha Shantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankhachakrasidarinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Om. Bring the hands back down to the side in the pose Samastitihi. Let's do 4 Surya Namaskar A. Ekam inhale, extend the arms, press the palms, gaze up at the thumbs. Dway exhale, slowly fold in, looking inward here. Trini inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Chatwari exhale, step or jump it back. And slowly lower down, Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Shout. Exhale, chin down, hips up, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Forewarn, this is our first downward dog. Start to connect with the breath, the body, and the mind. 2, the gaze is in the direction of the navel, if the neck allows. 3, strong arms, strong legs. 4, and 5, Sapta, inhale, look between the hands. Step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Head is lifted, back is flat. Exhale, fold in. Nava, inhale, raise the arms above the head, gaze up at the thumbs. Exhale, lower the arms only, Samastiti. Second one, Ekam, inhale, extend the arms, gaze up. Dway exhale, slowly fold. Look inward here. Trini inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Chatwari exhale, step, hop, or float it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha inhale, upward facing. Shot exhale, chin down, hips up, downward facing dog. Beautiful. For 1, 2, deep ujjayi breaths here, in through the nose, out through the nose with a constriction of the throat. 3, almost there, we can do it. 4, and 5, sapta. Inhale, look between the hands. Step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Head is lifted, back is flat. Ashtau, exhale, fold in. Nava, inhale, raise the arms above the head, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, lower the arms, Samastitihi. Third one, Ekam, inhale, extend. Dway exhale, fold. Trini, inhale, lift. Chaturanga, exhale, step, hop, or floated back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha, inhale, upward facing. Shot. Exhale, chin down, hips up. Downward facing dog. For 1, 2, 3. Deep inhales, deep exhales. 4. Gaze in the direction of the navel, Nabhi Chakra Drishti. And 5. Sapta. Inhale, look between the hands. Step, hop, or flow to the top of the mat. Head is lifted, back is flat. Ashtanga, exhale, fold in. Nava, inhale, raise the arms above the head, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, lower the arms only. Samastitihi. 1 more. Ekam, inhale, extend the arms. Dway, exhale, slowly fold. Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Chaturanga, exhale, step, hop, or floated back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha, inhale, upward facing. Shot, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. For 1, 2, 3. Pull the belly in, lift up on those kneecaps. 4. Spread those fingers. And 5. Sapta. Inhale, look between the hands. Step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Head is lifted, back is flat. Ashtanga, exhale, fold in. Nava, inhale, raise the arms above the head, gaze at the thumb. Exhale, lower the arms. Samastitihi. Beautiful. Let's do 2 Surya namaskar. Ekam, inhale, bend the knees, press the thighs, extend the arms up. Utkatasana, gaze at the thumbs. Dway, exhale, slowly fold. Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Chaturanga, exhale, step, hop, or floated back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha, inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Shot, exhale, chin down, hips up, downward facing dog. Sapta, inhale, step the right foot forward. Bend the knee, extend the arms. Virabhadrasana A. Ashtanga, exhale, plant the palms. Step the right leg back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Nava, inhale, upper facing. Dasha, exhale, downward facing. Ekadasha, inhale, step the left foot forward. Bend the knee, extend the arm. Dwadasha, exhale, plant the palms. Step the left leg back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Triodasha, inhale, upward facing. Chaturasha, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. 4, 2, take extra breaths as needed here. 3, almost there, we can do it. 4, 1 more breath. And 5. Panchadasha, inhale, look between the hands. Step, hop, or flow to the top of the mat. Head is lifted, back is flat. Shoulder shot, exhale, fold in. Saptadasha, inhale, bend the knees, press the thighs, extend the arms. Utkatasana, gaze up at the thumbs. Exhale, straighten the legs, lower the arms. Samastitihi. Let's do 1 more. Ekam, inhale, bend the knees, press the thighs, extend the arms up. Utkatasana. Do a exhale, slowly fold in. Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Chaturanga, exhale, step, hop, or float it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Pancha, inhale, upward facing. Shot, exhale, downward facing. Sapta, inhale, step the right foot forward, bend the knee, extend the arm. Ashtanga, exhale, plant the palms. Step the right leg back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Nava, inhale, upward facing. Dasha, exhale, downward facing. Ekadasha, inhale, step the left foot forward. Bend the knee, extend the arm. Dwadasha, exhale, plant the palms. Step the left leg back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Triodasha, inhale, upward facing. Chaturasha, exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful, everyone. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Panchadasha, inhale, look between the hands. Step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Head is lifted, back is flat. Shoulder shot, exhale, fold in. Saptarasha, inhale, bend the knees, press the thighs, extend the arms. Utkatasana, gaze at the thumbs. Exhale, straighten the legs, lower the arms. Samastitihi, beautiful. Now this part in the practice, the breath is labored. Place one hand at the heart, one hand at the belly. Close the eyes. Feel the breath. Feel the heartbeat. Breathe. Allow the breath to settle. Allow the mind to settle. Allow the heart rate to decrease. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. I think we're ready. Standing sequence. Come into the pose, Samastitihi. Parangushtasana. Ekam, inhale, jump or step the feet hip width distance. Hinge at the hips. Keep the chin lifted. Grab the big toes with the peace fingers. Dway, exhale, slowly fold in. For 1, allow the spine to release. Let the head hang. 2, and we can even shake the head, yes, here. Yes, we can do it. 3, draw the shoulders down the back. 4, one more breath. And 5, Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Padahastasana, release the toes, hands under the feet. Dway, exhale, slowly fold in. For 1, and we can shift the weight to the toes, send the hips up towards the sky. 2, 3, draw the shoulders down the back, almost there. 4, one more breath. And 5, Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Release the hands from under the feet. And with the flat back, slowly rise back to center. And we can jump or step the feet back together. Samastitihi. Beautiful. Utthita Trikonasana. Ekam, inhale, take a wide step out to the right. Arms are extended. Dway, exhale, pivot the right foot. Hinge at the waist or the hips. And allow the hand to fall where it may fall. For 1, open the chest, stack the shoulders. 2, gaze at the fingers. Hastagrai drishti. 3, we can do it. 4, pull the belly in. And 5, Looking down at that foot. Trainee inhale, rise back to center. We can pivot that right foot center, pivot that left foot. Chaturanga exhale, other side. For 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5, looking down at that foot, Pancha inhale, rise back to center. Pivot that left foot center. Utthita Trikonasana B. Pivot to the back of the mat. Square the chest, square the hips. Dway exhale, cross the center line. We can bring the hand to the outside of the leg or the foot, twisting through the spine for 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5, looking down at that foot, trainee inhale, cartwheel those arms. Pivot that right foot, pivot the left foot. Chaturanga exhale, other side. For 1, 2, twisting through the spine. 3, almost there. 4, one more breath. And 5, looking down at that foot. Pancha inhale, cartwheel those arms. Pivot that left foot center. Samastitihi. Pivot the left foot, step the right to meet the left. Beautiful. Utthita Konasana. Ekam inhale, take another wide step out to the right. Arms are extended. Pivot that right foot. Bend the knee. Draw the torso down. Hand to the outside of the foot. Other arm overhead for 1. Now from here, open the hips, open the ribs, open the chest. 2, almost there. 3, 4, and 5. Looking down at that foot. Trainee inhale, rise back to center. Straighten that leg, pivot that right foot. Pivot that left foot, bend the knee. Chaturanga exhale, other side. For 1, 2, gaze at the fingers. 3, pull the belly in. 4, and 5. Looking down at that foot. Inhale, rise back to center. Straighten that leg. Pivot that foot. Hands to the waist, okay? So let's pivot to the back of the mat. Lower down to that knee. I'm going to switch legs so you can see what's going on. So from here, place the right hand to the right thigh. Lift the left arm up. Take a breath. Now push the right leg in and twist and hook the elbow. Now push it in gently a little more and then hook the elbow a little more. Maybe place the fingertips or the fingers down to the mat. Other arm overhead. Gaze at the fingers for 1. We can stay here or we can tuck the toe. Lift the knee. 2. Almost there. 3, we can keep the heel up or you can draw the heel down. 4, and 5. Looking down at that foot. Cartwheel those arms. Pivoting once, pivoting twice. Lower down to that knee. Now, left hand comes to the left thigh. Right arm up. Exhale, twist and hook. Maybe twist and hook 2 or 3 more times to really get a good twist. Place the fingertips to the mat. Other arm overhead for 1. Stay here if it feels good to you. 2, or we can tuck the toe. Lift the knee. 3, 4, and 5. Looking down at that foot, cartwheel those arms, pivot that foot, Samastitihi, and let's come back to the top of the mat. Woo! Let's place one hand at the heart, one hand at the belly. Those twists take the breath away. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Deep inhale, deep exhale. Deep inhale. Deep exhale. One more deep inhale and deep exhale. Beautiful. Let's come back to the top of the mat. In the pose, Samastitihi. Prasarita Padottanasana. Akam inhale, take a wide step out to the right, hands to the waist. The way exhale, hinge at the hips. Stop halfway. Place the fingertips or the palms to the mat. Lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale, fold in. And maybe we can walk the hands in between the feet. Tuck the chin for 2. And we can align the shoulders, the elbows, and the wrists. 3. 4. We can shift the weight to the toes. And 5. Chaturanga inhale. Lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Hands to the waist, pressing through the heel, pancha inhale, slowly rise back to center. Exhale here, B, ekam inhale, extend the arms out. The way exhale, bring the hands back to the waist. Now squeeze the elbows, squeeze the shoulder blades, gaze up. And exhale, slowly fold for 1. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades. Keep squeezing the elbows together. 2. Shift the weight to the toes. 3. Almost there. We can do it. 4. One more breath. And 5. Chaturanga inhale. Slowly rise back to center. And exhale here. C. Ekam inhale. Extend those arms out. The way exhale, internal rotation, draw the thumbs down, interlace the fingers. Now open the chest, squeeze the shoulder blades. And exhale, slowly fold in. Allow the arms to leave the lower back. If they don't, it's okay. For 1, we can do it. 2, almost there. 3, 4, and 5. Chaturanga inhale, slowly rise back to center. And exhale here. D, last one. Release the fingers, hands to the waist. And way exhale, hinge at the hips. Stop halfway. Catch the big toes with the peace fingers. Inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale, slowly fold. For 1, and we can shift the weight to the toes. 2, draw the elbows towards the shins. 3, gently tuck the chin. 4, and 5. Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here, release the toes, hands to the waist. And 5. Chaturanga inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Release the toes, hands to the waist. And pancha inhale, slowly rise back to center. Now we can heel toe the feet, or we can pivot that left foot and step the right to meet the left and drop the arms. Beautiful. Parsvottanasana. Ekam inhale, take another wide step out to the right. Arms are extended. Now we can draw the thumbs down, make fist at the lower back, or come into a reverse prayers pose. Wherever you are, pivot that right foot towards the back of the mat, square the chest, square the hip, maybe step the left foot out slightly, and hinge at the hips. Center the chest over the leg. Gaze at the big toe, pada drishti for 1. Eventually the chin will reach that shin. 2. Almost there. Pull the belly in. 3. 4. Micro movements here. And 5. Trini inhale, slowly rise back to center. Pivot that right foot. Pivot that left foot. Square the chest, square the hips. Chaturanga exhale, other side. For 1, 2, 3. Almost there. 4. One more breath. And 5. Pancha, inhale, slowly rise back to center. Pivot that left foot center, arms still in place. Mastiti, pivot that left foot, step the right, release the arms, and give yourself some of those rotations. Woo! Wrist rotation, shoulder rotations, just to get the kinks out. All right, are we ready? Utthita Hasta Parangustasana. This asana requires lots of focus, lots of strength, and lots of balance. Please, if you have a wall, use a wall for balance, okay? I'm going to go over the modified version of this, and I'm going to also show you how to make this a little bit more harder as you progress in this asana. So first and foremost, let's bring the feet about hip width distance. You really want to have even hips. Stand tall. I want you to extend the right arm, extend the index finger and the middle finger and the thumb. Now, if you have the flexibility in the hamstrings, you can reach for the big toe. If that's not available for you, I want you to catch the knee. Wherever you are, catch the knee or the big toe. Dway exhale, slowly fold. For 1, gaze at the big toe. Pada drishti. 2, strong standing leg. We can do it. 3, almost there. 4, and 5. Trini inhale, rise back to center. Stabilize. Chaturanga exhale, that leg out to the side. Stabilize. Gaze over that left shoulder for 1, 2, we can do it. 3, 4, and 5. Pancha inhale, that leg back to center. Shat, exhale, slowly fold. Sapta, inhale back to center. Release the toe, release the knee, both hands to the waist for 1. Squeeze the shoulder blades, elbows back. 2, we can do it. Can we extend the leg, point the toe? 3, almost there. 4, and 5. Samastitihi. Beautiful. Other side. Ashtanga. Inhale. Catch the big toe or the knee. Stabilize. Nava. Exhale. Fold. For 1. Elbow back. 2. Gaze at the big toe. 3. Almost there. 4. And 5. Dasha, inhale back to center, stabilize. Ekadasha, exhale that leg out to the side. Gaze over the right shoulder for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Duwadasha, inhale back to center, stabilize. Triodasha, exhale, fold. Chaturanga, inhale back to center. Release the knee, release the toe, both hands to the waist for 1. We can do it. 2, can we extend the leg, point to toe? 3, 4, and 5. Samastitihi, beautiful. Let's come back to the top of the mat, okay? Ardha Baddha Padmottanasana. Now with this one, it's a lot of balancing. I'm going to face you again so you can see. First, let's start with the right leg. Shift the weight to the left leg. Hands to heart center. We're going to do the modified version. I want you to bend the right knee. Externally rotate. Place the shin above the knee. Ensure to press the knee back. Gain balance. Now, press through the heel of the standing leg. Shift the hips back. And as you lower down, maybe we can stay here in prayer's pose, or we can place the fingertips down to the mat or blocks if you have those available. For 1, tuck the chin gently. 2, almost there. 3, we can do it. 4, one more breath. Keep the feet active. And 5. Now slowly inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. And exhale here, hands to heart center. Focus on the balance. Rise back up. Extend that leg out, give it a good squeeze, and bring it back down to the mat. Other side, lift the left leg. Externally rotate, press the knee back. Now, gently, softly, and slowly send the hips back, pressing through the heel. Slowly lower down. We can keep the hands at heart center, or we can place the fingertips or the hands to the mat, tuck the chin. For 1, keep the feet active. 2, almost there. 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Hands to heart center. Slowly rise back to center. Beautiful. And give that leg a good squeeze. And come back to the pose, Samastitihi. I invite you to come back to the top of the mat. We're going to take a vinyasa to Utkatasana. Ekam inhale, extend the arms, gaze up. Exhale, slowly fold. Trini, inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale, step, hop, or float it back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing. Gaze at the navel. Utkatasana. Look between the hands. Step, hop, or float to the top of the mat. Big toes touch. Bend the knees. Press the thighs. Tuck the tailbone. Lift the chest. Extend the arms for 1, 2, 3. Sink it down through the heel. 4. And 5. Exhale, fold in. Now step or jump it back and slowly lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing, gaze up. Exhale, downward facing. Gaze at the navel. Virabhadrasana A. Sapta. Inhale, step the right foot forward. Bend the knee. Extend the arms for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Keep gazing at the thumbs. Straighten that leg. Pivot that foot. Pivot that other foot. Bend the knee. Exhale, other side. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Virabhadrasana B. Open the arms. Open the chest. Open the belly. Open the hips. For 1. We can do it. Gaze over the fingers. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, straighten that leg, pivot that foot, pivot the other foot, bend the knee. Exhale, other side for 1, 2, micro movements. 3, we can do it. 4, and 5. Cartwheel those arms, plant the palms, step the right leg back, and slowly lower down. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upper facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Come to the knees. Cross the legs behind you. Have a seat. And we can extend those legs out for Dandasana. Extend the toes back. Gentle tension to the thighs. Pull the belly in, lift the ribs. Roll the shoulders back, plant the palms. Chin to the chest. And lift the chest up towards the chin. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale, release. Ashtanga. Inhale, catch the big toes. Lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale, fold in. For 1, 2, almost there. 3, you worked so hard today. 4, beautiful standing sequence practice. And 5. Inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Let's go one step further. Last asana before we take our sukhasana. Grab the sides of the feet, the ankles, or your own wrist. And exhale, slowly fold. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, lift the chin, gaze down the nose. Exhale here. Now extend those arms out. Tuck the tailbone, keep tucking, lie all the way back. As you rest here for a moment in your Sukhasana, you did good. Allow the palms to face the sky. Allow the legs and the feet to splay out like pages of a book. Soften the face. Unclench the jaw. And allow the body to just melt into the mat. No more fight. No more force. Receive all the benefits from today's practice.